Hey, I'm Mark Scandrett
I'm Danny Scoville.
with ReImagine, and we want to tell you a little bit more about a workshop we have coming up on Saturday called Simplify. And this is a topic that we're really passionate about, and we have been for several years now, for a couple of reasons. We know that a lot of people are experiencing a money crisis right now, struggling with how to make ends meet, how to get those student loans paid off. A lot of people upside down on their mortgages, and so we think it's helpful to look at the nuts and bolts of how to have some competency about managing money. A second issue is a crisis of meaning. A lot of us live with a sense of hurry and worry, or we would like to be doing work that feels like it's more meaningful and doing more good in the world. And so we'll talk about how to pursue that. And then a third area that I think we all wrestle with is the crisis of global equity and sustainability. It would take 4.5 to 7 planets for all of us to live at the same rate of consumption as the average modest American. So we've simply got to find a more simple way to live, just so that everybody can have enough, right? So I think at the core of this is really, it gets at some heart issues, how we see our sense of, do we have enough? And as we've looked at the teachings of Jesus, we see a couple of themes there. One is, you and I are being cared for and provided for. We don't have to live out a sense of worry, scarcity, fear. Second, we have enough. And having more than we do right now is not going to make us happier or more fulfilled.
Right.
And a third thing is that we were created to do good with what's been given to us, to be generous and abundant. And so we think that simplicity goes way beyond having less clothes in your closet or living what would it be? What are some of the stereotypes?
Well, some of the stereotypes are just feeling guilty for what you have to an unhealthy degree. So being an extreme sort of minimalism. And that's not really what we're trying to get at with the value of simplicity. Yeah. There is a creating space and a decreasing the amount of certain elements, but it's not just in terms of money and possessions.
So the definition of simplicity we're using is leveraging your time, your money, and your talents towards what matters most. And so we're not trying to make people feel bad for what they have or the debts that they're wrestling with paying off, but simply to say, how can you move all the parts of yourself moving in the same direction to be the most free to pursue the most good with your life?
And it's creating space not just in terms of possessions and money, but it's also creating the space to find your identity in the Spirit and to have the Spirit move in that newly created space. And it's not to minimalize certain things, to take on more. It's really to refine who you are in your Creator's eyes.
So we're going to look at things like heart postures, learning to live out of a sense of gratitude, contentment, trust, generosity. And then we're also going to get into nitty-gritty, detailed competency stuff, how to create a budget, how to manage your time, how to clarify what your core identity and deeper values are.
And we're going to be covering a lot of this with the 2 offerings. So one is a Saturday workshop intensive from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Dolores Park Church. And then after that, we'll have a follow-up of 4 Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And those will also be kind of where we get more into the hands-on practical experiment elements. And Saturdays, a bit more overview, assessment, kind of figuring out where we are and the people we want to be.
So, as some of you may know, my wife Lisa and I are working on a book called Radical Simplicity that's about this topic. And if you join us, you're going to get the up-to-date latest manuscript, and you get a little sneak peek into a book that's coming out spring of 2013.
It's great. And so you can register for this event at simplify12.eventbrite.com.
Peace out.